Okay, good morning, everybody. I call to order the April 2nd Judicial and Public Safety Committee meeting. Hey. Oh, here. Roll call, please.
Chair Evans.
Here.
Member Chaplin.
Here.
Member Childress. Member Desart. Member Eckhoff. Member Guston. Member Krajewski. Member Ozog. Member Schwarzy. Member Tornatori. Member Yu. Member Zay.
Okay, thank you. We have a quorum. And do we have any public comment?
No public comment
No
today.
public comment. Okay. So moving on to chair remarks. I do have chair remarks this morning. At the last JPS meeting, a committee member asked for an investigation update from our sheriff. Last year on Juneteenth weekend, a mass shooting occurred in Southeast DuPage County. Tragically, one person was killed. I would like to speak to the committee member's request. First of all, I can sympathize with the frustration of anyone who is seeking answers. My heart goes out to the families of the victim and to those who were deeply affected by the shooting. Secondly, I want to point out that there are no exceptions that would allow discussion in open or executive session on a pending investigation. This is a criminal investigation. It is inappropriate to discuss the matter in JPS committee or on county board. Sheriff Mendrick is an elected official and has his own public information officer. Issuing an update is at the discretion of the sheriff. I did reach out to Sheriff Mendrick and invited him to speak at a JPS meeting if he so chooses. I also encourage members to call the sheriff if they have specific questions. Keep in mind, felony charges must be approved by the state's attorney. Third, I also wanted to make you aware that last week I met with Circuit Court Clerk Candace Adams, Chief Judge Bonnie Wheaton, State's Attorney Bob Berlin, Public Defender Jeff York, and Probation and Court Services Director Bob McKellen to discuss where we are with the implementation of the Pretrial Fairness Act. They are working to put together a 6-month update for the entire county board to hear. In lieu of a special call JPS meeting, I asked Chair Conroy if we can have this presentation given to the full county board. She approved, and this will take place at the county board meeting on April 23rd. Lastly, unless it is a point of order in committee, I will thank you not to speak until I've called on you. If you choose to speak out of turn, I will shut off your mic until such time I can restore order in this room. And now I will accept a motion to approve the minutes of the March 19th JPS meeting. Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Moving on to, sorry. Oh, I didn't have a second. I thought somebody seconded. Oh, thank you, member. Okay, okay. And let's see. Okay, can I call it again? Motion to approve the minutes of JPS. Okay, all in favor? All right, motion carries. Moving on to procurement requisitions. Can I get a motion to approve JPSP-13-24? Recommendation for the approval of a contract to Peter M. King of King Holloway LLC to provide professional services as a conflict attorney assigned to juvenile cases for the period of May 1st, 2024 through April 30th, 2025 for a contract total amount not to exceed $42,000. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Well, I forgot to ask for discussion. Okay, can I get a motion to approve 24-1050? Recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to AED Professionals for the purchase of Philips FRX defibrillators, infant child keys, and smart pads for the Sheriff's Office for the period of April 2nd, 2024 through April 1st, 2025 for a contract total amount not to exceed $29,086.20. Any discussion on that? Oh, actually can I get a motion? Oh, okay. And member you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just had the quick question of, it says in the PRCC that this would provide better coverage with 20 of these AEDs. And I'm just wondering what was the number before and what was, I guess, what was the decision-making process that this would now provide better coverage?
Deputy Chief Billadou is online and can most likely answer that.
Okay.
Thanks, Jason. Good morning. We are just expanding. We needed to put more units out. These units age out and we've had to take some out of service. Now we're able to budget to get more, so we're just adding more units between patrol, the courthouse and the jail so that we have more coverage with AED, so they're more readily available.
Thank you. And did you have not 20 before, or is this just replacing the same 20?
This is just replacing 20 right now. We've gone through cycles. We've had these for years. And as they age out, we just have to replace them, or they break, we have to replace them.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on, can I get a motion to approve 24-1051 recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Heartland Business Systems for the purchase of Fortinet 40-switch, Ethernet switch and support for the Sheriff's Office for the period of April 2nd, 2024 through April 1st, 2025 for a contract total amount not to exceed $25,184.80. Okay, any discussion on this? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Can I get a motion, moving on to budget transfers, can I get a motion to approve item 24-1111, transfer funds from temporary salaries to part-time help in the amount of
So moved.
$10,000 to create a part-time position for document image review, which will aid in the effort for record destruction. Any discussion on this? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Can I get a motion to approve item 24-1120, transfer of funds from rental of machinery and equipment to IT capital lease in the amount of $49,500 necessary to move funds to the newly created capital policy IT equipment capital lease line for postage equipment lease costs. Okay, I'm not gonna read the rest of it. Okay, any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to action items. Can I get a motion to approve 24-1112 Axon Enterprise PO 6662-1 serve decrease contract encumbrance in the amount of $136,664 for a new contract total not to exceed $1,378,336. Any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to grants, can I get a motion to approve? Oh, actually, that's just a place on file, right? Okay, motion to approve. Item 24-1113, GPN 011-24, Paul Coverdell Forensic Science, NFSIA FFY 23, Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority in the amount of $75,000. Any discussion on this? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Any old business? Any new business? Okay, Member Chaplin.
Thank you. Last week, the ACLU and the Women's Institute, or Women's Justice Institute came out with a report about how pregnant women are treated in jails throughout the state. The report's very concerning. There is an issue throughout the state with how pregnant women are treated in jail, and even in DuPage County, the report is very concerning and troubling. I'm going to be sending the report out to, I'll ask Sally if she can send it. I'll give it to Sally. Maybe you can send it out to the committee members, and I'll send it over to the sheriff. But, you know, it's very important. We set the standard, I think, in DuPage of how, you know, we always want to be above the bar. So I think that I hope everybody takes a look at the report, and that the sheriff looks at the report and they address the concerns in the report.
Okay, thank you. Any other new business? Okay, sorry, Member Desart.
Thank you. Some of us, Lucy, Patty and I were on the ISTACO Judicial and Public Safety call on Friday. And one of the things that came up was a legislative piece that I think we might want to address depending on where it falls in the state legislative session. But what it is basically is that the public defender moving to a statewide policy, because a lot of the smaller counties of Illinois, 102 counties, a lot of the smaller counties don't have a great public defender's office, but here in DuPage County, we do. We have a fantastic public defender's office with Jeff York, and we have a fantastic circuit court clerk as well. So this isn't something that, I mean, my question on Friday, and we're finding the answer, is if counties like ours, DuPage County, can opt out, or if the smaller counties that don't have a strong public defender's office can opt in. So just one of the things I wanted to give you a heads up, that this legislation is out there. And depending again on where it falls in the legislative session, it's something we might want to watch. Jason.
Member to start,
Thank
that's
you.
in Madam or Chair Evans, if it's okay. Members, great point. And actually, Public Defender York did bring that to our attention. The official language has yet to drop, so it's not yet in that process. We're waiting to see what that final language may be. But yes, that is our understanding that they're looking to possibly take it over statewide, which there is many concerns. I believe Public Defender York, as well as the state's attorney, has indicated they would have concerns if that was the case for DuPage, because you're right, we do set the standard when it comes to matters of that. It was me and Cheryl actually did discuss this with the public defender and Chair Evans on Friday, maybe Thursday.
I can't remember.
Okay, it was sometime
Thursday-
last week
Thursday.
about the fact this might be coming. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
We discussed it, and we had actually indicated, talking to the chair of our legislative, so you, Member to start, possibly getting an opportunity to discuss this at a legislative committee meeting, but we were waiting for the language to drop to have that conversation. So I think that's a fantastic idea, and staff would be more than willing to assist on whatever you guys are expecting.
Excellent, thank you. And I don't see a date on this, but I do have language that from Springfield.
That's from the, yes, okay, I've seen that. It's just, we haven't seen it posted online, but that's fine. Yes, we'll take a look at that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Member Guston?
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for bringing that up. That was obviously from the Illinois Supreme Court. They had a task force, and their task force moved forward and said they would like to see a statewide public defender system. The conversation was very in-depth for what we had as far as the proposed legislation. So keeping an eye on that and providing some input is going to be very, very important, particularly because we know here at the county, we do it right. And there's other counties that don't have the funds or don't have the need for the way in which we conduct our business here. So it'll be something interesting, but also to keep an eye on, and also to provide input to Illinois State Association of Counties Committee. And then also here at our legislative committee too. So I think we have a good representation to be able to opt in, opt out, have some other alternative versus having it mandatory for everyone. So thank you very much for bringing that up.
Thank you. Yes, and thank you, Member Desart, for bringing that up. There's a few of us that are going to the ISACO Drive Down event, so I will plan to bring that up there too. Any other new business? Okay, hearing none, can I get a motion to adjourn? Okay, all in favor? Okay.